how many lights are too many? Well, if you ask me, there's never enough lights. You can even ask my wife. I have so many lights. You know, I have 5 lights here. I have several lights in my garage. I got a light upstairs. I got even this light here that I walk around and keep this here in my pocket. This little string light. And I don't know. I just can never have enough lights. It's just one of the things that I don't know. I'm just a sucker to buy one, and I do use them. So I'm gonna go through these lights right here and just break down why I like I like all these lights, but why I like some of them much better than others, and why I have so many, and what is the purpose behind them. So I'm just give a brief overview of each light first, then I'm gonna go back and go through the features real quick, and then I'll tell you a few other things about these lights. So this light here, this was actually my first headlight. I bought a pack of these, a 2-pack from Amazon. I think it was basically worked out to be $5 a piece, so it was $10 for this 2-pack. And I bought this light right here, could have been 7-8 years ago. It still works perfectly fine. This light here, this is a Hart light, came from Walmart. I actually just sort of bought this light on a whim. And the reason being is that it actually, and the biggest reason why is because it has USB-C charging. This light right here was supposed to be my, I wouldn't say replacement for this light, but an upgrade to this light. And you'll see why here in a second. All right, so let's keep going. This right here was actually, this here was the second headlight that I bought. I bought it from Harbor Freight. I don't even know if they make this exact one anymore. It's a fantastic light. The only one sort of downside to it is that it charges with micro USB. And so I was trying to, that's why this was supposed to be an upgrade to this, because I want to try to get everything to USB-C. I'll tell you why I ended up going with another light over this one, though. This right here is sort of like a reserve light for me, you'll see. Now this light, this is a light right here. I kind of bought this as a Milwaukee light. I kind of bought this, as again, I say I'm sort of a sucker for lights. I bought this, I think it was one of those special buys from Home Depot. I don't know if it's $20 or $25, I can't remember. It's a great light, but it is absolutely not my favorite of these 5, believe it or not. It's not even, it's actually my least favorite. And lastly, my favorite light of them all is this Coast light right here. And well, it comes at a cost. It's not super expensive, but it does some very nice things, and has one thing that none of these other 4 lights have. All right, so now let's jump into the features of these lights, and I'm gonna start with the Coast light. Okay, so this Coast light, the first thing I like about this light is that it has flood mode. It has a spotlight. It also can be, you know, spread out to a flooding mode like this. And now the cool thing about this light is that it starts on medium, believe it or not. I'll show you one other quick setting. The light stays on for 5 seconds. Once you hit the on button one time, it just cuts right off. To me, that feature is so valuable, because one of the reasons that some of these lights I don't use as much as I use, say this one, for example, is because you have to cycle through all the lights to cut it off. That's actually the biggest problem with this light here. But another good feature, look, this light starts on medium, then it goes to high, then it goes to low. It also has a turbo mode, and you might wonder, why does it start on medium then go to high? Well, it makes sense, because like the medium actually is the best light in terms of length on this light and brightness combination. Low is too low, but you do get, like, I don't know, 14 hours of light. High is not much better than medium, but it cuts the battery life in half. So medium, you get really, really, really good light, and you get I think 3 hours. They quote 3 hours and 45 minutes of use. Other features of this light is that obviously it takes if I can open this up, it takes a USB-C here. I like this band. This band is actually reflective here. So if you was wearing this at night, it actually has like this little sort of silicone type material here that sort of keeps it in place a little bit better around your head or your hard hat. It's actually breathable. As you can see, these holes here are pretty stretchy. But, oh, it also has black and red lights here. I mean, green and red. Like, for example, you hit this side here on the left side, it turns on. I don't know if you can be, yeah, that's the red light. Hit it again, turns on the green light, and then you turn it off. And then this side here cycles through the white light. Now, what does this light here have that none of these lights here have? Well, let me show you right here. Look. This thing here has, if you read right here, has a lifetime warranty on it. So if something was to happen to that coast, as long as it's dealing with workmanship, the company should honor a warranty and replace that for you. So now retail price for this, I bought it from Amazon, it was $35. Now for a headlamp, that's pretty pricey, but in the grand scheme of things, I know everybody on different budget, but $35 is not like it's, you know, $100 or something like that. So $35 is not too bad for a headlamp, especially one of this quality. I mean, this thing is amazingly good. Let me slide these over for a second first, because what I'm gonna do right now, I need to break the scale out. The only one semi drawback to this light is that it's actually the heaviest of them all coming in. Well, not the heaviest. Second heaviest, but at 126 grams. Now, I'm not going to skip too far here with the other light, but I do want to show you this. On this Harbor Freight one here, this one is the heaviest of all. They actually have a third strap to go across the top of your head here. I wish, and if this light right here came with a third strap to go across the top of the head, it would just be just that much more comfortable. So, but still, I still say definitely it's worth its asking price. All right, so with that said, let's jump, instead of going to the Milwaukee, let's jump to this one here. Now this one, again, this right here, if you see it, it has a spotlight. I don't know, let me move this out as well so you can see it on my desk better. And if you twist it, it turns it into a floodlight. Now the Harbor Freight one also, if it stays on for a few seconds, if you hit the button, it just cuts right off. You don't have to cycle through all the lights to cut it off. And I really like that feature. So this light right here, honestly, and also, oh, another good thing about this one right here, actually, you can actually replace the battery in this thing here yourself. I mean, any of these you can, if you got the skill, you can replace the battery. But this right here, I think actually, I'm not, well, I don't know. I want to say this right here has a, let's see right here, contains lithium-ion battery. Battery must be recycled. I want to say you can replace the battery in this. I think I'm not entirely sure. I feel like it takes a 18650 battery, I believe. Not entirely for sure about that, but don't quote me on that. But anyway, this here, the only really downside of this one, it has a micro USB. Otherwise, this light right here technically would be my favorite light. And also, I don't know if this light here does what I'm about to say, but this light right here is programmed that when the battery, if it stays on for a very long time or the battery get to a certain percentage, that it'll, if you say have it on high, for example, it'll just clip, like I believe, to low to help preserve your battery life. It's a fantastic light. I really like that light a lot. So this really, to me, about it just, I think this light is brightest, but in other words, this light here is just as good as this light, but I wanted a USB-C charging port, and that's where they came from. Now, I'm going to say the Milwaukee for last. Now, let's jump to Hart. Now, Hart, as you see, you have to cycle through it. It has a spotlight, and it also has a flooding mode, as you can see here as well. But the downside is that in order to cut this off, you have to, I mean, there's no way you can cut the light off without cycling through all of the modes. Even if you leave it on, there's no light. I think on this one, you can long press the power button and it cuts it off. Nothing cuts this light off in one fell swoop. You have to cycle through all the lights to cut it off, which is an absolute bummer. Because this light right here is super good. I ain't gonna lie. I still like it. I could recommend it, but because again, it does have some nice handy features. This feature here, where it's on this side here, is you can use it while what I want to say, without touching it. For example, if you turn this feature here on, if you wave your hand in front of it, it cuts it off. You see, just like, but it's so sensitive. I think it's just too sensitive, because it's like, well, I was using this under the car, under my hood. Actually, I was doing some suspension work, and I kept cutting it off by accident. It's so sensitive. They should have it so like you have to be kind of close to cut it off. But in this case, I think if you you see how you kind of far away, that doesn't seem like a lot of distance, but to me, it's a little bit too close. See, like that's a good foot. And you need it, if it was like wouldn't cut off till you got about 3 or 4 inches from it, it would be much more useful. So great feature, but I think that overall they dropped the ball in 2 spots on this light where they should have had this. You could cut it off without having to cycle through all the lights somehow, and the handless feature, if you want to call it, touchless feature, works so well that it actually is a bit too sensitive. But otherwise, very fantastic light. Now, look at that, just accidentally cut it on. Now, now let's jump to the El Cheapo here. This light, first of all, has it's just spotlight, high, mid, and low, and it just cuts off, and it also has a red light on it as well. Super utilitarian. You do have to cycle through all lights to cut it off, but for $5, I'm not too concerned with that. I wonder if you hold it. Let me see. No, nothing happens. I mean, I've tried everything. So this light right here, I could actually recommend this light even for $5. I mean, look at this. Because the thing is, one thing I haven't told you why I like all these lights here, and I like this light, but I don't use it that much. It's because when you're working on cars and you're looking down in the engine bay with ambient light from the garage, or you're up under the bottom, say doing some suspension work or something, a floodlight just don't hit it right. You need it, to me, well, for me it does. I love a good bright spotlight, something I can focus that beam right onto it, and I can see what I'm doing. Because sometimes when you're working on a car, if you can see really clear, it just make it, I don't know, you feel a lot more confident in what you're doing. So all of these lights here are great for that. Now this one here, I'll come back and get the weights here in a minute, like I weighed this one here. The one thing I don't like about this light, and this light right here actually is the most comfortable light out of all these lights, because it's absolutely the lightest light. And this band, take a look, it stretches so well. It kind of feels like a spandex material. And it even in the front part has sort of this microfiber material that's sort of absorbent. So if you're sweating, it'll absorb that and kind of keep it from running down your face. The only downside, take a look at this. It only has, it may not, you can't tell, it only has it looks like a spotlighting right here, but it's not. It's just a floodlight, that's it. But however, if you do hold the button down, it'll cut right off. So it does not have any focus on it. As you can see, you just got the two LEDs here versus the ones that spot. You can tell it's just one in the middle, just like the same here. It has one in the middle, and this little one in the middle that can be, focused, same as this one. So now I did use this one here the other day for some plumbing work. I had to go in the sink. I had a sink that was draining slow. So I just went up under there, took off all the P-trap and a few other little pieces of the plumbing to clean it out. I use this light. It works just fine for something like that, but if you're working on a car, well, me personally, this right here, I just can't use it. I have to use one of these lights. And you may wonder, why do I have so many lights? Well, the big thing is that all 3 of these lights right here are rechargeable. Another good thing here, that they recharge. Now, this one right here, you actually, if you look on the back of the one from Walmart, you actually can change the battery out. So technically, if you have, say, I think this one take 18. No, I don't think you can change these batteries out on the fly. But this one here, I think these take 18,650 batteries. So if you got several of those and you got a charger, and then as soon as one run out, you do have to take a screw out. It is slightly inconvenient, but not that inconvenient. You could just switch, you could just pop a new one in there. Otherwise, if you accidentally just left this on and let it run out of battery, you'd have to wait till you charge it to use it. So that's why I have these lights. So if I'm using a light and the battery dies, I could throw this on the charger and come grab me another light. Although I'm a DIYer and I'm not professional, I don't use lights all day, every day. But there is times when I extensively use lights, and nothing's worse than having a light that you're used to so you can see very clearly and well, and it goes dead and you don't have another light in the meanwhile to use and replace that with. So that's why I have so many lights here. Let me get a weight and I'll give you my final thoughts on these lights, and I'll tell you real quick. I tell you that was 124 to 129. I can't remember. This should be the most one, 138 grams. Let me weigh this one again just to see. Totally, this here is 127, 120, about 15 more grams. But that 15 grams in your head is noticeable because it'll make your forehead kind of, it'll definitely fatigue your forehead a little bit. The Hart coming in at about 115 grams. The, let's go with the El Cheapo, which is, again, I still like it. 77 grams. I think it might be the lightest one of all. And the Milwaukee one is coming in at 91 grams. So again, there you have it. So what would be, if I had to recommend one light here, if I had to recommend one light, I would definitely recommend the Coast Light. I know it costs the most, $35, but this thing is a beast. It's a fantastic light. If you're not going to get a light like this, you might as well just get the $5 light. This light here works just fine, honestly. I mean, it spots, and it's not as bright as these lights, but I definitely have used this plenty of times working on my car and never had a qualm about it. It's just, again, I'm a sucker for lights, so I just bought a new light, and like this light here, and that was it. Again, price-wise, all of these lights right here about $20. Each one of these lights here about $20 each. This light right here was $35, so nearly double these lights, and this light here was $5. So again, if you're not gonna, you know, you could go in the middle and buy a $20 light, but I would say, well, I'll take that back. My recommendation would be this light here, be the top light. But again, I'm not going to say if you're not going to get this one, get this one. Never mind that. I would say if you're going to get any of the $20 lights here, I would likely go with the Quantum. Even though it has a micro USB, I will go with the Quantum light. And the $5 light works just fine. And again, you never can have too many lights. And this always remember this is that any light is better than no light. So if you're in the dark under a car and have any of these lights, it'll be better than nothing. But at the same time, choose wisely in the beginning and you won't like find yourself buying a light that you may not like down the line. So that's it. So you guys take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.